This machine cost $300. What it just made cost less than $2 in material. And someone will pay $30 for it. Maybe $50. Maybe $100. Here's what almost every beginner gets wrong. They buy a 3D printer, download random designs off the internet, print a few toys, throw them on Etsy, and wonder why nobody buys. The printer isn't the business. The product is the business. Today I'm showing you exactly how I'd build a 3D printing business from a garage with one machine. The real startup cost, what I'd actually sell, who I'd sell it to, how I'd price it, and the one mistake that quietly kills most people's profit before they ever notice it. Stick around, because at the end I'll tell you the exact product I'd start with if I had to begin from zero today. What is 3D printing? Quick reset, so we're on the same page. A 3D printer takes a digital file and builds a physical object, one layer at a time. Organizers, replacement parts, tools, decorations, prototypes, car accessories, personalized gifts. The list is long. But here's the actual opportunity most people miss. You're not selling plastic. You're selling a solution to a problem. Nobody cares that your product used $2 of filament. They care that it fixes something in their life. That's the entire business, sitting inside one sentence. Same machine, same material. One version sells for $3. Another version, same printer, sells for $40. The difference is what you print and who you print it for. Which 3D printer should you buy? Now, the machine. Don't do the beginner thing and grab the cheapest printer you can find just because the price tag looks nice. Two main categories, FDM and resin. FDM is your starting point if you want to sell larger, functional products. It's versatile, the materials are cheap, and you can make almost anything from brackets to organizers to replacement parts. Resin is better suited for small, highly detailed work. Jewelry, miniatures, fine detail pieces. If I were starting a general-purpose home business today, I'd start with FDM, no question. You don't need an industrial-grade machine. You need something reliable that can run over and over without babysitting. Because here's the truth nobody tells you. Your goal isn't to own the coolest printer. Your goal is a machine that keeps making things people are willing to buy. How much does it actually cost? Let's talk money, because this is where people either get excited or scared off, and neither reaction is based on real numbers. A beginner-friendly printer runs a few $100s. Add filament, basic tools, spare parts, packaging. Realistically, you're looking at somewhere between $500 and $1,000 to get moving. Forget the fantasy of a giant workshop. Think smaller, one printer, one desk, one niche, one product. Say you find a product that nets you $20 in profit after materials and selling costs. 25 sales a week is $500. 100 sales a week is $2,000. These aren't guaranteed numbers. Your real profit depends on fees, shipping, failed prints, electricity, taxes, marketing. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. But the mindset shift is this. You're not trying to sell 1,000 random prints. You're trying to find one product people keep coming back for. Once you find that, your printer stops being a hobby machine. It becomes a tiny manufacturing line sitting in your garage. What should you sell? This is where most people go completely off the rails. They search cool 3D prints and start making dragons, toys, random decorations, things nobody actually asked for. Don't do that. Look for problems, not ideas. What does someone need to organize? What breaks and needs replacing? What doesn't fit right? What could be personalized? What could save a business time? That's where the money lives. Think desk organizers, tool organizers, car accessories, replacement parts, cable management, personalized gifts, retail displays, custom holders, event products. And here's the strategy that actually works. Don't launch 50 products. Launch 3. Test them. See what people actually buy. Then take the winner. and go all in on it. Who actually buys? You might be thinking, okay, but who's my customer? Wrong question. The real question is, who has a problem my printer can solve? A mechanic shop might need custom tool organizers or replacement fixtures. A real estate agent might want branded desk pieces. A restaurant might need custom stands or signage. A contractor might need specific brackets or mounts. A small manufacturer might need a quick prototype. A hobbyist might need a part that simply doesn't exist in any store. And this is where it gets interesting. Because instead of fighting 1,000 other sellers over a $10 Etsy listing, you can walk into one local business and solve a specific, obvious problem for them. One business client can be worth more than 50 random online sales. Where do you sell? You've got options: marketplaces, your own website, social media, local markets. If I were starting from zero, I'd hit both sides at once. Online gets you reach. Local gets you relationships. And relationships are what turn into repeat orders. Here's a move I'd test in week 1. Find 20 local businesses that could plausibly use a custom 3D printed product. Don't send the generic message, "Hi, I run a 3D printing business. Do you need anything?" That gets deleted in 2 seconds. Instead, look at their business. Find a specific problem. Print a sample. Walk in and say, "Hey, I run a small 3D printing studio locally. I noticed you could probably use something like this, so I made one specifically for your shop. Take a look." Now you're not pitching a printer. You're handing them a finished solution. The profit math. Now the part everyone actually wants to know. How much can you really make? Here's the mistake almost everyone makes. They calculate profit off filament cost alone. $2 of material, $20 sale price, does not mean $18 profit. You still have print time, electricity, failed prints, packaging, shipping, marketplace fees, payment processing, and your own labor. So calculate your real contribution profit. Say that lands at $10 per product after direct costs. 10 sales a day is $100. 25 sales a day is $250. But here's the real lever: customization. A generic organizer sells for $15. The same organizer, built specifically for one customer's exact workspace, can sell for significantly more, because now you're not selling an object. You're selling, "This is the exact thing you asked me to make." That single shift is where pricing power comes from. The biggest beginner mistakes. Before the blueprint, 5 mistakes. Write these down. 1. Buying too much equipment too early. You don't need 5 printers to prove the business works. Prove it with 1. 2. Printing everything. Pick a niche. Get known for something specific. 3. Competing only on price. Cheap isn't a strategy. Value is. 4. Ignoring presentation. A great product with bad photos looks worthless online. 5. And the biggest one, selling products instead of solving problems. Don't ask, "What can my printer make?" Ask, "What can my printer make that someone is already trying to solve?" The Zero to Profit Blueprint. If I had one printer and had to build this from scratch tomorrow, here's exactly what I'd do. Step 1. Pick one niche. Automotive, tools, home organization, small business supplies. Anything with a clear, obvious problem. Step 2. Find 3 products people already want, not 50 ideas. 3. Step 3. Make physical samples. A real object sells itself far better than a pitch ever will. Step 4. Shoot clean photos and video and show the printer actually working. People are hypnotized by watching things get made. Step 5. Contact 20 potential customers a week. Not spam, real, specific businesses that could actually use what you make. Step 6. Land your first order. Then improve the product based on exactly what that customer tells you. Step 7. Reinvest. Don't rush to a bigger workshop. Use the first profits to grow production capacity. And the most important rule of all, don't buy printer number 2 because you're excited. Buy printer number 2 because printer number 1 is already booked solid. The golden product. So, what would I actually sell if I had one 3D printer and had to start from zero? Not toys, not random Etsy products. I'd pick one boring, highly useful product for one specific industry. Something businesses actually need, but can't easily buy off the shelf. Because the biggest opportunity isn't printing something cool, it's printing something nobody else thought was worth printing. And once you find that product, everything changes. You don't need 10 machines. You don't need a warehouse. You don't even need hundreds of customers. You need one product that works and one customer who keeps coming back. That's how I'd turn one $300 machine into a real home-based business. So here's the question. If you had one 3D printer starting tomorrow, what problem would you try to solve? Drop it in the comments, because your answer might actually be the next business idea we break down.